This is LTV News.
Hello everyone, I'm Kate Cartenuto.
And I'm Derek Harper. You may have felt the explosion when maintenance workers hit a gas line near the college. Rashida Ricketts was on the scene to find out what happened last Tuesday.
Yeah. Like violently. Oh no.
We're here at Mountain View Golf Course, where there was a press conference that was just held by Ewing Township officials discussing the explosion that occurred earlier today. At approximately 1 p.m., a powerful explosion and fire occurred on Crockett Lane in South Fork Housing Community in Ewing. The explosion injured 7 TCNJ workers and resulted in 1 fatality of a resident. The identity of the victim has not yet been released. Located just off Route 95, the explosion destroyed several houses immediately, while others were seriously damaged and burned in the ensuing fire, which has been extinguished. A total of 55 homes are damaged, according to Ewing officials. A local contractor reported having struck an underground pipe of some kind, so TCNJ workmen arrived on the scene to investigate, and shortly afterwards, the explosion occurred. At this time, the area has been closed off, and residents have been evacuated while authorities investigate the cause of the explosion and the safety of the surviving houses.
What we are doing currently is we have state inspectors and our local inspectors going through the buildings to find out structural damage and hopefully assess the situation a little bit. Once that has been done and we can start releasing some of the other condos that are affected or not affected, we will allow people to go back into their homes.
So I'm here with the Mayor, Bert Steinman, and we're here just talking about what we can do as a college in New Jersey to see if there's anything that we can do. So Mayor, can you tell us anything that the students can do to help the community out in any way possible?
Well, we've been, actually the College of New Jersey has been involved with the community for a number of years, and they've been doing very good things. Right now, in this particular situation, there's not much that they can do at this point. We need to get through this process. We need to make sure that all the buildings are safe. We want to make sure that we can get the residents back in their homes, that we can, as many as possible, going forward with that.
Okay, and do you know an expected time when families will be allowed to go back into their homes?
Well, I'm hoping that they're able to go back tonight. That is our goal. We're trying to get as many condos looked at that we possibly can to make sure that they're safe and people can go back in there. So yeah, we're trying to get as many as we can. There'll probably be maybe 20, 30, 40 families that won't be able to go back into their homes tonight. But again, we're working through that process, and once that's done and we evaluated everything, then we'll let those individuals know that they can go back.
This morning we responded to a damage to our facilities. At approximately 11:45 we were notified. At approximately 11:58 we had a crew respond to the scene to an odor in the air. We're in the process of investigating how that damage did happen to our facilities. And as soon as we do come to a conclusion, we will report that as quickly as possible. There were several employees in front of the dwelling. We have I think it is right now 7 employees in the hospital, 2 with injuries and 5 there for observation. And there were a couple in front of the building.
Hello, so I'm standing here with residents Tom Resner, who was away during the explosion. So Tom Resner, can you tell me how you heard about the explosion?
Yes, my friend called me up on the phone and he said, "How are you doing?" I'm trying to figure out what's he talking about. Then he finally, I got the information that there was an explosion on my street, number 28, and I live at number 6. So I was up to Poconos at the time, and that put a little bit of shake in me, so I just turned around and headed on back.
I guess we left off with the damage. I was told that there's 55 units that have been damaged. We have state and our local inspectors out there right now checking for structural damage. Obviously, the power to that area is cut off, and we're not allowing any of the residents back in right now until we can ascertain whether or not it's a safe environment. As the mayor did indicate literally minutes ago, I was informed from the scene that there is a fatality. We do not have the ID of that person, and obviously we're not going to release any of that information until I'm able to further confirm that, and in fact we make a contact with the next of kin.
And it comes to find out I can't even get my condo.
You know, I think if it was that night, our injury numbers would have been up. By the grace of God, had it had to happen. At least the daytime, a lot of the people were not there. But obviously, if I had my way, none of this would be heard.
Because I do really appreciate all our first responders, obviously, to that scene. They did a magnificent job.
Okay, and just one more question. How quickly were the families evacuated from their homes after the explosion?
Well, once we arrived on scene, that was the first thing that we started to do, was evacuate people out of their homes. It was a mandatory evacuation. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everybody's very cooperative at that particular point in time. We transported them to the West Trenton Firehouse, where they are stationed right now.
Okay, thank you so much, Mayor. Back to you.
Thank you, Rashida. Other students have reported that picture frames fell off their mantle, as well as witnessing black smoke billowing up towards the clouds. Either way, many students knew something was wrong even before fire trucks came on the scene. Let's get started with our discussions today.
The Anxiety and Depression Association of America states that 80% of college students suffer from stress and anxiety daily. Aside from all the stresses of college, some students have found some relief in their participation in the campus-wide game of Humans vs. Zombies. Run by TCNJ's Manhunt Club, the game is a campus-wide event that challenges students to participate in the nationally recognized game of modified manhunt. The game starts out with every participant being a human, and the goal is to avoid being taken over by zombies. To win the game, players must avoid being attacked, or more specifically, touched by zombies for the week duration of the game. Participants can be seen creeping around corners, dueling with foam swords, and otherwise living up the campus scene. The signature orange bandanas identify players who are still human, and they wear their stripes of cloth with pride to say that they are still quote-unquote alive. The Signal reports that colleges all around the U.S. partake in similar games, and states that the University of Georgia has nearly 2,000 players in their game of Humans vs. Zombies. Some campuses take part in other similar games too, such as Harry Potter-inspired Quidditch games with teams and tournaments, to name one of many. These games serve as a way for college kids to relax amidst all the stresses in their lives. Look out for the Humans and Zombies and for other activities held by TCNJ's Manhunt Club that they host as the semester goes on.
I attended the comedy show A Funny Thing Happened on the way to the Forum this past Friday, and it was definitely worth my money. The student-run organization TCNJ Musical Theater put on the show, which was directed by Noah Herman. The story takes place in ancient Rome and centers upon 3 houses beautifully decorated that reflect the time. Molly Crawford portrayed the hilarious Pseudolus, who spends the entire play trying to gain her freedom. Forum follows Pseudolus in her journey, which will be completed once she helps her master, named Hero, whisk away the woman he loves. Of course, it wouldn't be as entertaining without a few bumps in the road. With the help of disguises, secret potions, and pirates, hilarity ensues. While the entire ensemble was equally talented and entertaining, the favorites of the night were Hysterium, played by Ken Aves, and Senex, played by Adam Ziering. My personal favorite musical number of the night, titled Everybody Needs a Maid, which had myself as well as the entire audience howling with laughter. The show had a happy and funny ending after all, and the ensemble left the audience with the final words, "Morals tomorrow, comedy tonight." And we'll be right back with the remainder of our discussions.
And now we're back with an update on Cub's most recent announcement.
Harold and Kumar have taken White Castle, Guantanamo Bay, and now Cub announced the College of New Jersey. Kap Penn, known for playing Kumar Patel in the Harold and Kumar franchise, will be visiting the college on Tuesday, March 18th at 7 p.m. Penn is somewhat of an anomaly in Hollywood. He is the only known actor to have stopped his on-air career for a job in the White House. Fans of House may have remembered his abrupt and very upsetting departure from the series, which left more than a small hole in our hearts. Cub reports that Kap Penn worked as the Associate Director at the White House of Public Engagement. He worked on projects such as increasing financial aid and bringing soldiers back from Iraq. Kap Penn has since returned to television on numerous shows, including the very popular How I Met Your Mother. Penn has been profiled by the New York Times and named one of People's top 50 bachelors. Kap Penn's Evening of Learning, as described by Cub, is a free, Student Finance Board funded event. So be at Kendall Hall by 7 p.m. for an enlightening experience.
Though the theater organizations may generally focus on large-scale productions, there are also smaller events held by various organizations on campus. All College Theaters and Evening of Shorts, which consisted of 4 short plays performed by 4 casts, happened on Saturday, February 22nd. The first show, directed by Garrett Verdone, was titled Henry's Dead. The show depicted a love triangle that arose, humorously, after the death of one of the characters' cat, Henry. The actors Matt Stewart, Jenna Burke, and LTV's own Ryan Farmer Smith were able to open up the audience to a funny show and set the positive atmosphere. The next show, entitled Smitten, was directed by graduate student John Eldis and written by the pair Mark Matthews and Anna Stilleman. Through the show, Emily Brady and Jake Burbage portrayed 2 humorous lovers who make ironic and deadly discoveries about each other, The Signal reports. Impressively writing and directing his short was Jonathan Edmondson, whose show titled Crestfallen explored the intensity and perception of passion. The story introduces Viola, portrayed by Rachel Scott, and follows Viola's daughter and peers attempting to bring the young actress back to reality. Dear Grief was the title of the final short and was written and directed by one individual, Blair Dietzel, and a junior English and secondary education dual major. The show followed a therapist, portrayed by Carly Da Silva, who handles 4 characters in various stages of grief: anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, portrayed by Fred Stange, Hilary Siegel, Courtney Johnson, and Sydney Walker, respectively. The Signal describes the shows as thought-provoking and that the emotional performance led some audience members to tears. Garrett Verdone summed it all up by saying, quote, "We love theater because theater can make us laugh, it can make us think, and it can make us happy."
Well, that's all for today. If you would like to join LTV News, email us at ltv@tcnj.edu. For all of us here at Lions Television, I'm Kate Caratanudo.
And I'm Derek Carper. Have a great week.